Some of the teaching I didn't enjoy in the sense that
the main thing about uni is that a degree is a degree. What financial advice would you give them?
Jack, when he was at university, he set up.
It could lead to some potential, let's say. Oh, it's just like a hobby of his, or do you think it was a bit weird? Or
should I pour it in? We're out the bowls or out of these?
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Keep it down, yeah? Keep it down, yeah?
Yeah, alright. It's currently 7:30 in the evening and Jack's going to bed.
Keep it down, yeah? Jack Manchester's needs to go to bed.
Yeah, sleep well.
No, you can make as much noise as you want. Over 5 decibels. Night, guys.
Not as good as Q's cooking though.
never beats home cooked meals.
Where do you get your pistachio sauce?
Oh, try that.
I like pistachio sauce, but I get mine from Costco.
Around the Liverpool Street station.
Oh, wow.
Right next to it. It's really good. Try that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Hello, hello guys.
Hello, sir.
Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the Off Plan podcast with my very lovely second guest, Charlie Manchester. Say hello.
Hello. Yeah, hello. I'm Charlie. You know my name. He introduced me, and it's an honour.
So I'm very glad that you're here in the early days of the podcast when we get really big.
Yeah.
We'll get like Elon Musk on and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you obviously have to think big.
Yeah.
Have to think big. So yeah, today I'm with Charlie, who is the brother of Jack, or we know him as JACKEDEATS. And yeah, I want to just sit down with him and just learn more about him, his life, his relationship with Jack, and just let's say if you can bring some good wisdom into light.
I'll try my best.
Try my best here. But obviously, the main theme of this podcast is that we sit down and eat with one of their favourite meals. So today, Charlie, what have we chosen?
We've got some. It's spicy Nduja pasta from Pasta Evangelists. It was I forget what type of pasta. What are these rigatoni, like super thick rigatoni?
It's a bit
I've got an Italian. My old housemate was Italian, so he'll be able to tell me what these are.
Is that there?
It's just Nduja.
Nduja, yeah. So it's a nice spicy pasta. It took an hour to get to us, so better be good. If it's not, then we'll say.
It's not home cooked.
Yeah.
I need to get better at cooking. I'm 28 now. I should really
get at it.
Yeah, I should really. Q's laughing. She knows.
Flat-faced laugh.
I'm respecting your foods.
What did I make you last time? It was something okay.
It was like something pasta with creamy sauce.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have just one bite.
Yeah, you had one bite and you thought, I don't want another bite.
Everything to you.
Your taste buds, that's all. So yes, we're going to chow down to this, and yeah, so let's have our first bite.
Chew the fat, exactly.
Yeah.
So cheers.
Cheers, yeah.
Let's.
Already, yeah. Oh. It tastes like spice already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's spicy, isn't it? I'm not really good with spice.
I'm good with spice, thankfully. Wow.
So,
okay.
what's the format of this interview? What questions are you asking me?
So, this interview is obviously at the start, it's kind of like a mukbang. But the main thing is just to kind of act like it's just a chat with your mate. But obviously, we'll have interview style questions where it'll be like, okay, what do you do? Hobbies, certain topics. So let's say if something big was to happen recently, we would kind of discuss about it. But I think the first thing I'd kind of ask about is what do you do for a living?
Well, I've been in London for about 6 years. I was at a company. No, I work in audits. So this is where all of your viewers will fall asleep.
Yeah.
So you wanted, some sexy content. Why did you bring on an auditor? Well, I don't know. Hopefully, I've got more interesting things to say. But so I work in audit. It is interesting. I think a lot of graduates from university go into finance. Auditing is it gives you a breadth of skills, analysing financial statements, balance sheet, profit and loss. You test all these elements of those financial statements, and then a lot of auditors go on and they work in industry, become management accountants, financial controllers, directors, or you can stay in practice where you can move on and work in the tax teams. You can go into sort of accounts and business advisory, stay in audit, work your way up to partner, and so it's a good. I had no idea what audit was before I started in London. I've done the ACA, where you become a chartered accountant. I did economics at uni. I don't remember much from what I studied. I worked hard.
So
I got my 2-1.
You completely blanked it. It was like, don't need it. Or was it like, it was just a blur?
I look back and I feel like it was a blur. It was. I got fed up with economics at the end of it. I was just, that's why I went into accountancy, because accountancy, I just feel that that's what business is. You have these disclosures in the accounts. You have set ways that accounts are prepared. You got your debits, your credits. It's a bit more black and white. Whereas economics, you have these models that are based on assumptions, and it's a bit more.
A bit more technical, like.
Well, you got technical, and just some models I couldn't visualize.
Yeah.
I'm quite a visual person.
Because especially when I learned in IT, is that we learned a lot about business and like data structures, because having stuff like being able to visualize data, that allows it to turn data into information, because information is just data that's given meaning. So we thought about data in kind of two ways. There's quantitative and qualitative. Mm-hmm. So quantitative is, let's say, the dimensions of a picture. So it is 24 inches by 26 inches, whilst the qualitative data of it is, it uses red strokes. It's mainly devised out of red strokes. It has a gold brass frame. Okay. And then the way you would then visualize it is the actual portrait itself, is the actual board of the painting and all that itself.
Okay. That's qualitative. Qualitative?
Qualitative, yeah. So QUALITIV, and then quantitative is basically the same thing with that. But that was very interesting, because you can look at it through life the same way. So either you can look at the actual dimensions, or the actual things have like this table. It could be 60 by 80, but has like a nice oak finish. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
It's not oak. It's
some generalisation, not like that.
Sort of.
Not yet. No, IKEA's great.
I know.
So get to IKEA if you ever want to.
Yeah, I should have got some meatballs.
Meatballs are gone for next time.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, so when it comes down to that, you did economics, and a lot of the models you said that you looked at, you couldn't visualise it. How did you overcome that? Did you just study, repeat it constantly?
I was just in the library, just revising.
Really?
And a lot of the models, I think some of the teaching I didn't enjoy, in the sense that I went to St Andrews University, which is a brilliant university. Had a lovely.
Where's that?
St Andrews, Scotland.
Oh, Scotland.
North of Edinburgh. And met some really lovely people. Shout out to Tam, shout out Duncan, shout out Jack, Matt, the girls, all their chess.
Shout out everyone.
Shout out my mates. I had a brilliant time. But the economics course, there were some teachers there who were they're lecturers, they do their research, and the teaching was probably a side thing for them. So they weren't really too fussed. Like, you'd go to their office hours and they wouldn't be there. And you go to some lectures and they're just regurgitating what their lecture slides are on. And it's like, well, you're not teaching, you're just repeating what's on the lecture slides. So I thoroughly enjoyed my experience there, but I just can't remember some of the content that. But I feel like that's a lot of people's experience when they've gone to university. Can they really remember a lot of the stuff that they learn, or it was just more which sort of think, well, why did you go? But
that ties back.
But it builds on to the next stage.
Yeah,
because again, I've done my ACA, but I can't remember everything that I did.
Yeah, no. There's only the stuff you need to remember to get you through, really.
Yeah.
And so I'm about to go into my second year of university. I'm studying computer science, and even though people might not see economics and computer science the same, is that with business can tie into economics, but computer science also ties into business because, again, a lot of businesses use computers to. Obviously, you must use a whole bunch of softwares like Excel and all that to calculate all these. With your auditing.
Yeah, we use Excel all the time.
Yeah, because it's you find out that a lot of things are intertwined. You just need to actually find out how they work. Because the one thing we've also found in computer science is that people care more about the function, like what it can do on the interface itself, not actually what is done under it. What's under wraps, what is under the covers, what are the inner workings. Because when you buy an Xbox, you're not really caring what graphics card is used, what CPU. No, you're just like, which game can I play on it? What game? Yeah. I'm
a PlayStation guy.
Even though you got an Xbox.
Well, that's Adnan's.
Oh, shout out Adnan.
Shout out Adnan. Yeah. He brought the Xbox down.
Yeah, so the same thing for a PlayStation there.
Yeah. So you're not obsessed with that. Oh, what's the memory? What's all
yeah,
this?
no, it's stuff like that, and that kind of ties back into the idea of university. Now, from someone who's obviously went to university in St Andrews in Scotland, did economics for university, would you recommend people now, this current generation, my generation, to go to uni, or do you think that if they want to pursue something such as finance, that they'd be better off going at an alternative route?
That's the $1 million question.
It is, isn't it?
Million Great British Sterling Pound question. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't care about it.
Yeah, about the dollar. No. So, would I recommend? I guess it depends. University has always been the done thing for a lot of people when they leave school, but I don't think. I don't know. I think there are a lot of people who go to university and then it doesn't really lead to the next step. For me to get onto the ACA, I had to have a university degree, so for me it was beneficial. But you can also, for people who also want to go into accounting and auditing, they can leave school and do their AATs, get those exams, and then they can go on to ACCA or ACA, I believe. So to become a chartered accountant or become a tax specialist, you don't have to go to university. You don't have to go to university and study accounting and finance. You can go onto a school leaver program and go into these big companies, and it works directly. And there's benefit, there's pros and cons for both. University, you have a great experience. You can meet a load of new people. It's a bit like doing an MBA. Yeah. MBAs are incredibly expensive, but they open up your network. And for someone who's wanting to set up a business, you can associate yourself with really interesting people, and you can really create opportunities for yourself. University, you really can create opportunities, do lots of interesting things, sports societies, extracurricular societies. You can meet very interesting lecturers. It's how much effort you put in that you can get out of university. But if you go into university and just mess about and don't really take your degree seriously, then it is now you've got tuition fees. It is a lot of money, so you've really got to make it count. So I'd say in this now that universities, it is a lot of money. Do think about.
Did you graduate before they turned the tuition fees to $9,000?
No, I knew the tuition fees were going to be $9,000, so I knew.
Okay.
And it was I did want to go to university. I did chemistry, started doing chemistry, switched to economics, but for people like young people now, I just think, well, think about what you actually want to do, and it's hard when you're 17, 18, knowing what degree and what job you want to pursue. It is a hard decision because there's so many things out there. But for people who want to work in trades, then clearly university is not for them. They go and do these courses.
Hands on.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know, like leave school at 16, learn a trade, and crack on with that, and there's good money in it.
I have a lot of friends who have they've come out of GCSE or A level, and they've decided to go to a trade work. It's completely fine. Trade work is the field, it's the things that build our society, buildings, places we live, all that, and it's physically demanding compared to a desk job.
Yeah.
So you're on your feet all day, but again, you get paid good money for it either way. But tying back to what you said, that university is a good place to go despite the money. Initially, for me, I didn't really see a reason to go to uni because I was like, too much money, I don't have the financial support for it, and I don't even know if I'm going to get a job out of it anyway, it could be wasted. But then I had I talked to a couple of people, family, friends, and I was like, I want to get a degree, because the main thing about uni is that a degree is a degree. Would you agree? A degree is accepted everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, not to insult certain institutions, but there are certain degrees from certain institutions that are more well respected. So it depends what degree you're doing and where you're doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to start naming places, but you can
hit list.
Yeah, and also but you also can do a degree for maybe a lower ranking university. I mean, the university rankings, but also it can actually, that university can overall be lower on the overall rankings, but higher for that degree. So there's multiple things to think about there.
Exactly. When I was looking at my courses, I was like, okay, I want to go into tech because I enjoy tech. Even though I mainly came from like a graphic design background. I was like, interested in technology. I did IT. So if I describe computer science and IT, is that computer science is you're learning how the machine works, but IT is like, how do we use the machine in business? So you learn a lot about cloud computing networks, business models, like agile, like all stuff that you might have learned in your auditing.
Yeah.
And it was very informative. So I was like, okay, I'm not a tech bro. Like, I'm not gonna be in the code grinding, forming stuff. Okay, I want to make something. I'm a creative. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna go to tech, can I actually go to something creative? So I chose something in game design. So I looked at the courses, and Portsmouth had some of the best portfolios for the course itself for game design. And I went there and it looked great, but I was just like, okay, if I take this course in game design, then it kind of puts me on a one-way avenue just for game design.
Yeah, okay.
But when I looked at Sussex, which I go to now, it was computer science with digital media and games. So even then too, I have 3 specialisations: computer science, digital media production, so that's like BBC stuff, like this stuff right now, and then game design. So these are 3 avenues that I can get to. So if for my 4 years, because I have 3rd years of placement.
Nice.
For the 3 years, I'm learning these specialisations. Now, would you also agree that doing a degree shows that you can just dedicate yourself to something and actually come out with good results?
It is a qualification.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got someone with no qualifications, no GCSEs, no A levels, versus someone who has, well, that person who has got the qualifications has proven themselves to be able to to be able to revise, and they've shown that they've got some degree of knowledge. Whether they retain that information is another question. There's successful people who've not got a lot of who've not got a lot of qualifications, but they're extremely entrepreneurial. But having a degree, having qualifications at school and professional qualifications, there's no harm in these, having these things at all.
And one thing I was also going to say is that university, for a lot of young people, it's a time for people to kind of get off your back. For 3 years, you have freedom to go out, socialise, find yourself, but also do something and get something out of it. So like me with my editing, helping your brother Jack with his videos, I'm doing this alongside uni. I'm not going to drop out of uni to do this, because I don't know if this is going to turn out in the end. And then I'm already 18 grand in debt. But if I come out of uni with a degree, but also I'm still editing and I still have a lot of clients and I'm probably getting bigger, then I've got the best of both worlds. I've got a degree for which if editing doesn't work I can fall back on, and then 2, I can do something that I enjoy whilst having that security and doing the job I love, which then I can then repay my debt and all that. But what I'd say is that when it comes to student finance and all that, it's not like debts that you've borrowed from someone else and be like, okay, you need to pay out now. They have an actual scheme for it. They've done it for years. And there's teachers I know that they're 45 and they've just paid it off.
It depends what your salary is. But I mean, you can pay it off in instalments, but then you have sort of early repayment charges, I believe. But the thing is, again, it's it just comes out your payslip every month. It's like another tax. But I guess it is. When you start earning and you look at your payslips, you do think, the tax man's getting it. My dad always would, when I was growing up, he was always like, oh bloody hell, I hate the tax man. And always complaining, like, one day you'll start paying taxes and you'll know.
It's like he's an actual figure.
You look at it and you think, oh god, that could be mine, but it's going somewhere else. But your student loan is just another deduction on your payslip, unfortunately.
So overall, university is a plus. It's positive,
For the majority, yes. For the majority, there are people who go and waste their time and it's not beneficial. And but of course university is a plus. I had a brilliant 4 years. I'm assuming you're learning a lot, you're having a lot of time to...
Got good mates as well, so
meet good mates, you're enjoying your course, it gives you 3 different specialisations, it gives you time to be able to explore this type of stuff. But whereas if you leave school and start working, then you're on that road already. You're in that sort of environment, working 9 till 5, and that's a big chunk of your day. That's you haven't got that degree of flexibility. You are reporting to
someone else.
To someone else. You have a contract. In your contract it says you have to work 37 hours, 40 hours, 35 hours a week, 9 till 5. So you are expected to be at your desk. At university, you can be a bit more flexible with your time and pursue other things. So there's pros and cons. So I had a brilliant 4 years. St Andrews, great uni.
Shout out them.
Shout out them. Yeah.
Touching back to what you said about your dad.
Yeah.
What's kind of like your childhood like that led you kind of down this path? Would you have said that you had a good one? We don't have to go deep into that stuff, because what I had the conversation with Jack is that your parents were very diligent of you guys being focused on, let's say, your doing piano, doing your homework, getting infused into extracurricular activity. So it seems like they wanted you to be very hard-working people, but they also wanted you to find your own little niches and things you love.
So my parents, I aspire to be when I have kids, I aspire to be half the parent that they were to me. They were incredible. They still are. They care a lot about Jack and I. They instilled a huge amount of a great work ethic. Dad was the breadwinner. Mum worked as well, and she worked incredibly late doing her teaching, and they would always be there at parents' evenings. If we were slightly out of line, they would keep us in check, and they made sure of it. And
was that the French in your mum? Always keep
it was the feisty Frenchness in mum and the
stubbornness of your northern dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, I'd say mum's more stubborn, which she wouldn't admit, which proves my point. No.
What did your parents do? Obviously, you said when your mum was teaching.
Mum, French teacher.
French, okay.
Mum's French. Elle est née en France. Elle est venue à Londres. Elle a rencontré mon père à Londres et
Oui.
Yeah, quelques années après, and yeah, they had Jack and I. So
Stuff happened.
and then Dad's.
I would actually like to learn French once.
Yeah.
I'd like to learn certain languages. I'm currently learning Turkish, but maybe I'll have some more free time.
I think when I have kids, I'm definitely teaching them another language. I feel that there are kids who have a parent who's of another country and they don't teach them their native language. I feel like the more languages you have,
more gateways, isn't it?
More gateways. It's like, So, you know, my wife, if she's from another country, I hope that she would teach them another language. The more languages, the better. And it's a shame that kids at school don't learn languages. I think it stops at like 14 now, which is a shame. But yeah, like I say, my parents, they instilled a work ethic, homework, extracurricular activities. We did a lot of sports when we were young, and then we got heavily involved with the music. I don't play as much music now, but it's always something that I'd like to get back into. It's just the past few years doing the
But it never leaves you, does it?
No.
It never leaves you.
Yeah, when you get to a certain level, it doesn't leave you. And and so great parents. And I would take so much when I eventually have a family. I need a girlfriend first, but once
No, we
upon a
don't
time.
need both.
Yeah.
But that's really good to hear, because obviously talking with Jack, comparing and contrasting what you guys use, that overall you had very loving, supporting parents that pushed you to be the best you that you can be, and that really makes a ton. Makes a lot, because I know a lot of people that didn't have good parent figures, and that does have a significant effect to it.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
I'm fortunate as well.
Yeah.
To have great parents, and they helped me be the person I am today. Obviously, I've had certain circumstances, but I have come out better for it, and that's all it is. It's being able to triumph over the hardships with your family and friends, and then come out on top, because that's that thing there. And I think a lot of people kind of undermine the benefit of having a good, strong set of parents and family.
Yes.
Like, especially you're really supportive of Jack and his little escapade that he's doing now of JACKEDEATS. Like, how was that initially kind of just finding out? Were you like, oh, it's just like a hobby of his, or do you think it was a bit weird, or was you just didn't really have like anything to say about it?
Yeah, when he started doing his cookie thing, I was like, yeah, he's just doing it. He's enjoying what he's doing.
He's not hurting anyone.
He's not hurting anyone. And then, when he started getting bigger, and he doing his food challenges, they some of them were going viral. I was thinking again, that's sick. I was happy for him. Jack, when he was at university, he set up a clothing brand, Shape Performance, and the reason why I downloaded Instagram was to promote his Shape Performance thing.
Really?
So I downloaded Instagram, and I would spend my time following and unfollowing people to build up my social media following. I got up my social media following to about 14,000 just by following and unfollowing, not through like posting niche content. And then I'd just message people constantly saying, buy this Shape Performance, or have you heard about it? Just promote Shape Performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, Jack's very entrepreneurial. He's willing to take risks. I'm quite risk averse. Jack's quite risk seeking. And when you're trying to create businesses, you need to be risk seeking. You need to be able to jump in at the deep end, invest. Sometimes it fails, but you learn from those failures. And so Jack, with this stuff, he started doing it. He was just doing it for fun. Some of his videos went viral, and I was intrigued by it. My only concern was with the videos that he was making, I was thinking, is he creating eating disorders, or are people not getting a fair reflection that this is a very unusual diet, and is he going to have a negative influence on young kids who are on social media? But I think he's quite clear that this is a cheat day, or this is a challenge. This is
a planned day that I have actually planned a week before. So just being like, oh, I feel like I want to squash down 24 Weetabix.
Yeah, this is not what I do normally.
Yeah.
which is, and obviously it's very clear that he's highly active. He gets up.
Obviously, from what you said, is that was engraved since you guys were younger.
Yeah. But I think Jack would admit this. He's probably more. I think he's probably got a bit more like obsessive type behaviours.
He's very disciplined.
Yeah, disciplined.
Just to the point where to the point where he'll like apologise for things like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not going to be as this today, that today." I'm like, bro, you're fine. Like you're on your own journey. We're here for the ride, and it's not hurting us. We're very infatuated, but I think that may be a downfall for your watchers. That being very over-disciplined may lead to certain things in the future kind of going out of hand because he's so disciplined. If it doesn't turn out the way he wants to, it could lead to some potential, let's say, outbursts, like getting hangry, like that story where after his bodybuilding he wanted good ice cream and you gave him just like...
Yeah, that was when he had a go at me for getting the wrong ice cream.
Frozen milk, like that.
It was locked down, it was... Yeah,
dark
we're still building on the we're still going to therapy about that. But anyway, no. So exactly. So yeah, Jack's incredibly disciplined. He gets that nature probably from mum. Mum's very disciplined and she's very methodical and this, that, and the other. So and Jack is that. He gets up. He likes his routine. You know, sometimes a bit too much, I think he might admit, but to be able, with the physique that he's got, you do have to sacrifice some things. You do have to be, you do have to be disciplined, and if you have a goal, you do have to be sometimes selfish with your own time and just put yourself first. But there's obviously, I think he would admit this. There's times when you do have to compromise with other people if you want to maintain sort of relationships with people, and I think everyone who's going for a goal probably will come across some frictions in relationships that they might have with people, in the sense that they won't get time to see the people who they probably want to or should, family, friends wise, but they've got their goal in mind and they're going for it, and but yeah, he's very disciplined. He's got his set routine, he's got his set diet, but he's more flexible now, but when it comes to his social media, again, he's doing his food challenges, and he's saying that this is a food challenge on this day, this is a cheat day, and these are this is just what I eat normally, and it's a hell of a lot of food. But he, like I say, he moves a lot. He gets up in the morning and
the way he said it, he's become a bit more flexible. That's shown in his content, because initially, like when I've looked past just kind of out interest, he just started doing cheat day videos, cookie reviews, and stuff like that. But now, with the help of me, he's trying to kind of stray out more into. A bit more into fitness, but also fitness in terms of mental health and being more of a relatable character. As I said, I see you both as like older brothers. So there's a lot of people out there that can resonate with Jack and see him as this figure to learn from and just kind of be akin to, which I think he is definitely a better role model than a lot of people you see on social media, because you're either a persona on social media, or you're just a very, let's say, revved up version of yourself.
What do you mean revved up version?
So as in, like me, when I present to a camera, I can be very bombastic with the way I am, but I know that's me.
Okay, yeah.
But whilst when I talk to you normally, I may be a bit more, a bit calmer. Just chill. Yeah. But then there's some people that go out of their way to literally be completely different.
Yeah, I feel like who's that YouTuber? Is it Speed?
I show Speed.
Yeah.
He just screams. And
screams. He's so popular, but I just find it, fair play. I'm not sure whether he's being genuine or he's playing up to the camera or what. But clearly a lot of people resonate with that. But to me, it just seems a little bit forced.
He's the definition of crackhead energy. Like, like a lot of people, the reason people kind of associate it with KSI, KSI.
I used to love watching KSI.
So
scare videos.
With like Deji and all that.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of kind of IShowSpeed when he was kind of like old KSI. But IShowSpeed, the reason he's famous is that he has such an outrageous personality, like screaming, and doing all this outrageous stuff. Is that he gets popular, and obviously he has to put it up to obviously maintain his viewers.
But
obviously there have been times where you've seen that he is just kind of just a normal person. Obviously, he's gonna have these bombastic, like yelling and screaming and all that. But
that's your favourite word, bombastic.
I'm
gonna start saying
bombastic. Bombastic. He has these very outrageous outbursts, but that's if he enjoys it, he's not hurting anyone, then that's how you get popular. But then you have some people like Jack's nemesis, Eggy Manabu.
Yeah, Eddie Abe.
Eddie Abe, like I see him. I've listened to him on a podcast, and he sounds like a very genuine, knowledgeable man. But then when you see him on his social media, he has to always be straight to camera. Like, this is shit. Like, you're an idiot. Like, doing all this stuff. And we know why, because we're both in an industry of business and all that. We know that to garner profit and fellowship, you need to show people something that's so crazy they need to watch more of it. So that's his personality.
Yeah, I mean, as in that you're just creating emotion. Emotion gets people commenting. Commenting gets you, feeding your algorithm, or gets you more engagement, and that gets you more money. But it's but the concern is, it's just how genuine are people being, and it's just what do the viewers want, and what do the content creators want? Clearly, content creators want most. It's nice to be financially rewarded and remunerated, but it's how genuine you want to be with your content. And I think there are a lot of people who are genuine with their content. But there are times when you look at some people's content, you think, oh, that seems a bit forced or a bit thing. But again, you don't blame them, because they're just, they're trying to. Well, it's also entertainment. Yeah. It's entertainment.
It's
like
entertainment.
It's like acting. Actors aren't being. So anyway,
it's just craft. Yeah. Speaking of money, obviously, as you being an auditor and you go into finance and all that,
I've got none.
You got no finance.
I've got nothing left.
These are hand-me-downs from Jack.
Yeah, these are hand-me-downs. The socks I found outside.
This is sample Yum merch.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Got
no logo on it, but it feels nice. Good for Jim Gibb going out and all that.
I look like a monk.
We've got the candles and all.
Exactly.
But so yes.
I'll stop being weird.
No, we love it.
No.
What would you recommend to anybody listening? What financial advice would you give them? Like, it's obviously you've
Bitcoin. No, I'm
yeah. Speaking of like
NFTs,
would you recommend someone going to, let's say, stocks and shares, maybe like an ISA, or would you recommend them making a bit of their own? Like, what are these like maybe tips and tricks or recommendations that you've seen from an auditor that could help someone in the long run?
I mean, I am just an auditor. I am not a financial planner or someone who works in wealth management or asset management. I am just a mere auditor. But what advice would I have for like young people? Stop buying Gucci, stop buying Louis Vuitton, stop trying to pretend you've got a lot of money. Like, why are you buying branded stuff when you know you can't afford it?
Very materialistic, isn't it?
It's like, that's the first one.
Yeah, no, because where I come from, I was from Surrey.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not like the common stereotype of Surrey, I see so many like people buying Trapstar, Louis Vuitton, all that, and they act like roadmen when they literally come from these middle class families, gated communities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You are the definition of a cretin.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's a soul.
So is it is Trapstar an expensive brand?
It's quite an expensive brand. I don't know.
A bit like Stone Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you think of Stone Island as being like the geezer, like the Trapstars, like
I see a lot of West Ham supporters.
Oh yeah, they wear a lot.
The jeans, Adidas, Gazelles, and
Whilst Trapstar is, let's say, baggy stuff like puffer jackets and all.
Gen Z? That's what they're wearing.
Yeah, the Gen Z.
Yeah. I was literally walking through Soho and I saw hundreds and hundreds of probably like 15 to 17 or like 14 to 17-year-olds just running through the streets. I was thinking, Jesus, is there some sort of terrorist attack? What's going on? And no, there was just this van just throwing out jeans, just handing out jeans. And because all these kids were like super baggy, like, you know, those big jean shorts or like super big jeans. I was thinking, I thought I'd time travelled to the 90s first. And
then they need to pull up their trousers, like they're hanging it low, man.
We sound like two old men. Those bloody youth need to pull up their trousers.
Those punk rockers.
Punk rockers.
Ravaging the streets.
Yeah, and anyway, so I was just like, Jesus Christ, a few of them were shoulder barging me. I was like, oh, that hurts. Yeah,
so basically,
they were just getting all these jeans from, some, I don't know what.
We would have probably taken some free jeans as well.
Yeah. To be fair, my jeans are a bit ripped. I was fighting a few of them off, like, and I lost.
Show your boxes.
I got battered by a 14-year-old.
That's the title of it, getting battered by. Oh, that's so weird.
No, that's no. You made that. I was innocent. You made that. You gotta hear that.
I'll edit it. It's fine. Move it there. So, like you said, there's not much advice to get out there, but just don't be.
Oh yeah, in terms of like what advice like for young kids, I don't know. Just if ICE isn't it like 20 grand tax free or something? I don't really. I need to sort out my finances. But it's just don't go wasting your money on like cigarettes and drugs and
spend your money on stuff that you can actually get out, like online course or an experience, which is like going on holiday. So especially when you're young, like you want to see the world as much as you can.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I could go on. I could be more. There's times when I am I do indulge in my own life.
But it's the thing same for Jack, it's controlled.
Yeah, it's controlled, There are some people who don't have control. They live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, they're very hedonistic.
Yeah.
They get satisfaction. Satisfactory from just purchasing items. Like some people will be like, oh, I bought a new TV. I'm like, don't you already have like 2 big TVs? Yeah, but I bought another one. I'm like, I've already got like TVs, like stuff. Like for me, I've always been like, oh, I want this and that, but then I sit back, I'm like, do I actually really need this? Because my main finance is that was from food, because obviously you need food to live. But also I get a lot of page out of food, and it's not actually that much money to make a good meal. Supplements, so protein, vitamins, and all that, because obviously health is wealth at the end of the day. My PT, certain monthly services like Netflix, entertainment, also like something for editing videos, so like a service that uses their music and you don't get copyrighted from it. That's something I use with Jack. And just these things that actually provide value instead of just being like, oh, I've got a new pair of clothes. Like me, I went shopping with my sister recently and I only bought really one item. And we went into tons of shops and I'm just like, I just can't really, I can afford these things. I had the money, but they would look nice, but if I bought more now, then I wouldn't actually be financially adept, and it'll be a bit irresponsible at that point.
That's it. I feel like there are times when I buy something, I'm like, I don't need that. So you have to be. It's just discipline. It's discipline with your own finances. I think
for which I think is in your DNA.
Yeah.
So you're very good at that point. So I think that's it.
Yeah, and it's also your parents. If you're seeing your parents sort of spend money on lots of things and all this kind of, and then you're probably going to pick up that type of behaviour from my parents. Whereas Mum was always super strict on finance.
Super lenient with everything there. So
strict, not lenient at all.
In there. So
what?
Ask more questions,
Yeah. So who's going to be your next guest?
Oh, who will be my next guest? Okay, so obviously I want to branch off into many different fields because even though this kind of started off kind of being more fitness oriented, I still want this to be something where I can learn. Obviously, I've learned just more about you and let's say the things that go into, let's say, economics and all that stuff and your background, and it's very enlightening. So I would like to Obviously, the person I would love to have on next is someone that I should get to. If I had a dream guest,
Yeah.
then
Go on. Yeah. Who'd be your dream guest?
Dream guest?
Yeah.
Chris Williamson.
I was gonna mention him.
Chris Williamson.
I would love to. I really hope Chris Williamson. I mean, he does. I'd love to see Chris Williamson have my brother feature on his podcast, because I feel like my brother's got a lot of stuff with what he specialises in: bodybuilding, gym, his TikTok and his Instagram. I feel like that would be a bit of an interesting conversation. I feel like Chris Williamson is such a. I think he's a very positive role model for a lot of young men and women. Like,
he is, like, I've been listening to him a long time. I was even going to do like a video, like a kind of like a documentary on it, but then I lost all the files and it was all this. It was like 15 hours of work I put into it and it's gone out. It's just
no.
Fair. But yeah, I really hope I can get him on, man. I think Jack would be a great person because Jack D's persona, he eats all this food, but then being able to uncover that misconception of him having this eating disorder and all that, it will be very informative. And the fact with Chris Williamson, even though he has these big guests such as Andrew Huberman, David Goggins, all these, Chris Bumstead, the Miss Olympia, he also has a lot of not mainstream people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the fact is they're intellectuals in their own field.
Yeah, and
that's why it's called modern wisdom, because he's trying to learn. And the one thing I learned from Chris Williamson is that podcasting, it took him 5 years to actually get something. So if it takes me 5 years, then so be it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to have him on. And if Jack does go to meet Chris, then I'm telling him to take us along with him.
Oh no! If Jack goes on a podcast with Chris Williamson, I would love to just be there.
Just be there, just see how it works. Especially like him, like me and Jack have had new tonic, which I was going to bring that drink, which I'm so sorry I didn't bring, but it's a basically a productivity drink.
Get out. No.
Shame.
No.
It's his productivity drink, and it's got all these like nootropics in it, if you know what that means.
I don't know what that means. I just learnt the word bombastic this evening.
Nootropics are basically. Have you seen the movie Limitless?
No.
So they're basically cognitive supplements.
Okay.
So it has something called cognizin in it, which is I think acetylcholine, which is like an essential nutrient for the brain. They're basically just brain nutrients.
Okay.
So it's like, I'd say it's like similar to caffeine and gets you focused, but with new tonic gives you the focus but none of the crash and jitters.
Okay.
So you just have this calm focus.
All right.
Because when I have like coffee or something like that, I can get a bit of like a calm down, like you get a bit, let's say, shaky and all that. But that one you just feel straight at it. It's really nice sparkling blend, and like it goes down really nicely. It's just like a really nice drink. £30 for a pack of 12. They'll last me like a month.
Yeah.
But for people that take it every day, then maybe a bit too expensive. But for people that do really need to maximise every hour that they can, then I think that'll be a very good thing there. But yeah, Chris Williamson is just. Yeah, he's like the...
So he'd be your number one?
He'd be the one that, if I could, that would be great. Now, my next guest, I may ask Matt Saul.
I don't know who that is.
Me and Jack know him. He is someone from Leeds. Manchester or Leeds. No, Leeds. Leeds. And he has started... Well, he owns a brand, a clothing brand. And so I'd love to get... insight how he started, what does it take to do that, and just get to know him, because again this is supposed to be like a friendly interview, chat, and it's just building up from there. And then maybe after that I'll probably ask Jack to see if he has any of his mates that would like to do it, if any of your mates want to do it.
Yeah, my mate Adnan, he's a doctor, he's a good doctor.
And then all it is just kind of, it can roll back like what Chris Williamson does. It's like he'll get recurring guests, like he has a guy called Rory Sutherland. You might have heard one of his podcasts with him, but he's had him like 4 times. But the fact is, there's always something new to talk about, because there's either something going on in the world that this intellectual can touch upon. Because Rory Sutherland's good at like selling. Stuff like the psychology of selling, stuff like that. Like how would you do these certain things, and like the society, how things are built and all that. But yeah, that would be great at that point. So, and yeah, just build up from there, because the same with like Jack's YouTube channel is that you only get traction if you keep on grafting. So hopefully this will be my main kind of baby aside from helping others do their content.
Yeah.
And because even though I love editing, I would love to grow something for myself.
Yeah.
Because then that'll give me opportunities as well. Because like I've always wanted to be like sponsored by like a gym brand.
Yeah.
Because obviously I powerlift, and I'd love to like just kind of be that figure. But I don't really have a tremendous feat of strength or physique to attract people, but I do have personality. So if I can do something such as this podcast that showcases my personality but also brings out someone else's personality, then that's what's really worth it in the long run. So if I can really dedicate myself to this, and a podcast, currently it's not that hard in the very simple beginnings, where it's just filming, editing it, make sure it sounds good, maybe do some clips, thumbnail, that's it. But then when you get to like Joe Rogan, Chris Williamson's level, it's like, okay, you need to get proper lighting, cameras, specific algorithms, all that stuff. I'm like, I'll get into when the time.
And that's when it sort of, like I was saying earlier, people who tend to be successful are the ones who are entrepreneurial, who are the ones who make decisions, who execute sort of actions, and they invest and they take risks and they build something. And you've always got to start from somewhere, and it's sometimes it might not feel like it's going to work out, sometimes it might not work out, but there's no harm in trying. But there's a saying which I'm not going to repeat, but I forget what it is.
I'd rather try but fail than never to try at all.
Exactly. And there's someone was saying this saying, it's like, what life do you want to live? Do you want to live the life where do you want to live the life that you always sort of dreamed of, or are you being pushed to the periphery of your own life? You're sort of existing on the periphery, living this life that you've been forced to live, whilst in the next room you're dreaming about the life that you would love to have lived. It was actually on Chris Williams' podcast.
Yeah, no, I know what you're on about. It's like you can see your dream self in the next room. Yeah. But you are like too scared to actually knock on the door and take the risk to get in. Because it's like you're so comfortable in this periphery, as you said, that you're not willing to take the risk, and that ties back to university. University is a risk, but it's one that has showed many times that it does provide value, even though there are a lot of successful people that have dropped out. Like I think Steve Jobs, like he's one of many to show. But I'm like, these people are just themselves are great personalities, great work ethics, everything. It's just that they just didn't vibe with uni. But for the general population, university will work for you. It's shown it, and you may feel a bit nervous to be in financial debt, but overcoming that uncomfortable feeling is what makes us. And I think that's the main thing of Modern Wisdom, Chris Williams' podcast, is to expose yourself to things that may be uncomfortable and learn from it, whether it be war or different leaning political arguments. It's just stuff like that. And whether it be making something for yourself, which I'll tie back on, is there anything that you want to create for yourself aside from being an audit?
Me?
Yeah.
Me. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to them.
What would I would. Yeah, me and my mate were thinking, we could start a podcast. I think, could I create sort of funny type content reels? You've got a guy called Jack Joseph. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's very funny. And there's another chap, he sort of does these weird, awkward, he's like the Mark Corrigan of Instagram reels. He's just a funny guy. And then you've got two Yorkshire lads, I don't know whether they're from Yorkshire or Lancashire, but they're just, they've got a funny dynamic. They create reels and it's quite funny. I'm thinking, could I do that type of thing? But and again, I'm in that thing of, I feel like I'm being pushed to the periphery of that opportunity where I could just throw myself into it and just create it. First of all, have courage to just start messing around and creating some of those reels and finding time, as opposed to scrolling through Instagram or wasting my time in other things. And so I feel that it's something I could try, but I just need to get organised and do it, and just create those funny reels of just for myself. My friend and I, we wanted to start a podcast. We did a few pilot episodes, so we need to crack on with that really.
Yeah.
But in terms of at the minute, just cracking on with the world of work, just the hustle,
Hustle,
adulting as people call it now, which is rather.
Well, I think you should get on that then. Even if it's just getting it down, doing one video.
Yeah, I've got all these sort of things on my phone. I'm not going to say them because it won't be funny.
Save them, but yeah, again, always pursue a passion, even if it's not, you don't get any money out of it. Just knowing that you've done it. You can say to your kids earlier, "Oh yeah, I wanted to do some internet comedy."
Yeah.
And did you get anything out of it? No, but I did it anyway. And they're like, "Oh, well, you should have done it for money." It's like, I did it because I want to, and that's
the thing.
That's the thing you should say to kids, like, just do something because you love doing it, not necessarily because of the money, because that's when you're gonna last the longest. Because if someone goes into something like, "Oh, it's got a lot of money, I'm gonna do it," when you find out they don't get enough money, they're just gonna leave.
Oh yeah, that's what I think. There was a podcast with Jimmy Carr. He was like, the reason why I was, if you're so passionate about something, then it's no longer work. You're clearly going to be. You're more likely to be more successful than the person who does see that as work, because they'll put in 9 hours, of work that day, and they'll view it as work. But if you're absolutely love it and you're immersed in it, you can do 12 hours and you absolutely love it. So you're inevitably going to be far more successful, or more likely to be more successful, and then get money out of it. But like I say, if you're passionate about what you do, then that's half the battle.
Yeah. So like for me with editing, I'm very passionate about it. Like I love, because it's a creative expression. Because the whole thing of editing is to enhance the video. Like with Jack's video, like they're quite basic content. He just talks to the camera and eats. But with my hope for editing is that I like a bit more engaging with the audience. Keep it engaging, more concise, because sometimes I see people stop talking or get a bit boring. And it's allowing Jack to expand to a wider audience, which he's very happy about. But yeah, please try and do that. I'll tell you right now, it's like you will feel better for it. Get your ideas out. And who cares? It doesn't work out. It could work out. You never know if you don't try.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think we'll wrap it up here. But we need to review what would you rate that meal?
I was so hungry. So
yeah, we were all very hungry.
I could eat like a dog's leg and still love it. But no, that was delicious.
That was
spicy nduja. It was some fat rigatoni pasta.
Yeah.
And it was good. Yeah. I mean, it was only an Uber Eats. I really don't get Uber Eats. We just got.
Yeah, Jack had. He's sponsored by Uber Eats now. He's an athlete. Uber Eats, can you sponsor this podcast that'd be sick. If we get a food sponsor, so okay, this sponsored by Just Eat. We've got this meal that we ordered on Just Eat. It's his favourite meal that he usually gets.
That'd be awesome. Uber Eats, if you can just sponsor me so I can have my dinner.
Just so I can leave.
Just so I can, because my cooking, I'm fed up. No, I can.
We'll do a cooking segment.
Self-deprecating.
Yeah.
I can cook.
I'd rate it.
Oh yeah, rate it. Yeah.
I'd rate it a 7.
Yeah, I was thinking 7.
Because you can't go wrong with a good pasta dish.
Yeah.
But I think that the flavours aside, it just tasted a bit spicy and salt. I think if there was a bit more in there in terms of, let's say, maybe some vegetables, a bit more, let's say, specific seasonings and flavours, then they'd be way nicer when it comes to that. But other than that, I still recommend. I would have ordered that in a restaurant.
Yeah, a lot of people say when they order food, you shouldn't go for pasta because that's something you can make yourself. Typically.
But pasta is
I love
like
pasta, bro.
You
can't go wrong.
No, there's pasta you make at home, and there's pasta.
Yeah.
There's Italian pasta. There's like truffle oil. Like you go to there's a place in my hometown called Posticiano's, Postitano. It's a reservation. It's a lovely Italian place. Lovely tiramisu. It's kind of like Fianance. Lovely tiramisu. I had this polo fungioli, it's like a spaghetti with a chicken tomato in this
mushrooms.
Yeah, mushroom sauce. Yeah,
I can speak
literally,
Italian.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
So, yeah. Let's order that. Let's wake Jack up.
Again, yeah, wake him up. Yeah, Jack's gone to bed. He's a little bit. We should probably feel he's probably badass naked in the bed.
Yeah, no, just spread out.
Anyway, thank you guys.
And on that note,
yes, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sitting down with me
it's been a
and
pleasure.
having a lovely chat and enjoying some good food.
Good food, good company, good conversation. We'll leave the conversation to the viewers. They might think, oh, Charlie was alright, boring, whatever.
Well, then why have they watched this far?
That's very true, actually.
Well,
yeah.
You don't know unless you watch, so tied in there. So other than that, guys, have a lovely day, evening, whatever, and I shall see you in the next podcast. Bye!
See you later.
Bosh.
Bosh.
That was lovely.
There you go, episode 2.